Okay, we are here with Carl. So, Carl, thank you so much for having us over at your place. And this is the first time I'm actually seeing the tank, and I'm shooting the camera pretty much the moment I walked in because I have lots of questions. There's lots of input, and you will hopefully answer those.
Yes,
So,
sir, no problem.
perfect. So let's take actually. You know what? Let's start with this piece here. You were actually
Yeah.
showing that you just picked up. It's a chalice.
Yeah, from Ryan.
Oh, nice.
It's from the colder side of Australia, apparently.
Oh my
The
God.
water's more cold. Look at the color in that piece, man. Like, I can't believe it.
You've got
We
purple
got a
and
shipment
kind
in
of
here.
darker
Reddish.
reddish.
He
Yes.
says a chalice, doesn't it? It looks like a chalice, yes, but also looks
Like
like
a
it could be
cavia.
so. Yeah, exactly,
Yes.
right?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, when you turn it over, though, you'll see the skeleton. If you look at the edges, you can see
Yeah.
that it's really
Oh,
a
nice.
chalice, you see?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is gorgeous. And I take it. How often do you introduce corals into your tank?
On a regular basis, I get frags from friends like, Dane,
Mm-hmm.
Steve, Bobby,
Oh,
a lot of
beautiful.
different people, right? That helps me out with stuff, right? I got a couple of pieces from Afnan too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So different
And
places, right?
okay, let's actually take a step back and talk a little bit about the tank. But I
Yes.
have so many questions. I have so many things to talk about in terms of just the coral selection, the fish,
Yes.
and also the aquascape. I dig your aquascape. But
Yes.
just going back, what's the dimensions on this tank? Let me guess. It's
Oh,
48 by
5 feet
5 feet. So it's
Yes.
4 feet by 5 feet.
by
It's
2 feet.
2 feet high. So this is
Yeah.
the ultimate peninsula,
Yes.
if you think about it.
Yes. Miracles actually built the swimming here on
Uh-huh.
site.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
the weirdest thing was I had the option to go an extra foot.
Yes.
He said, Carl, I'll do the extra foot. And I said, no, I regret it every day ever since then. But I was looking at to light it, right? How much it's going to cost to light it.
Yes.
Because,
Yes.
bigger,
Yeah.
it's more stuff you
Yes.
need, right? But anyways, it worked out fine. I've had it now for probably 7, 8 years.
Oh, sweet.
I totally wiped out maybe about 7 months ago where my salinity dropped, obviously, to 19.
Oh.
Lost a lot of corals, figured out, got it back up going.
Now,
Yes.
what about the height? Like, you find that this is the ultimate height where you can still reach in if you wanted
Yes.
to?
Before, I was very anal about having, 36 inches, right?
Yes.
And then I realized it's so hard to get to stuff with your hands and move stuff around, right?
Mhm.
So that's why I went back to 24 height, right?
Mm.
So Miracles did it at 24 for me, built on site to the
And
specifications that I wanted.
how old is the tank?
About 7 years now.
So what did you have before that?
I had before that 48 by 48 by 30 inches.
So the cubes are in your blood, eh?
Yes,
So
I
like
can't
you
get
really
away
like
from
that. So
that.
very nice.
Yeah.
And what was the reason for the change?
Oh, it was an upgrade and stuff like that, and I stole another foot
Yes.
from what I
yes,
had,
Yes.
and that just made it work out just fine for me, right, with the design we wanted to go with, right?
How do you like the that extra foot? Like that gives you a little bit more freedom,
Yes.
creative freedom, and stuff like that.
Huge difference,
Nice.
right? Huge difference.
Well, yeah, like I was saying, this aquarium right now, like if you look at it from the front, you would not be able to say that it's 5 feet. You would guess like it's maybe 3 feet, the longest. But
Yes.
because the water compresses everything, it's
Looks
really
like 3
unique.
feet. Yeah, it looks like 3 feet, right? When you
Yes.
look at it like that, right?
That is gorgeous. So tell me a little bit about the aquascape, because the aquascape here is crazy.
Yes, so I created like 3 different islands,
Mhm.
right? As you can see.
Yes.
So here I have this section here with just the torches and stuff, and
Yep.
then I have acros here, some of the stuff that doesn't need too much light,
Mhm.
and then on the back you can see the whole thing going across with all different species, right? If you were to count on this rock, I guarantee you're all maybe 28 pieces on this rock, you see?
Yes.
So there's a lot of different species in here.
Okay. Are you doing the rock formations yourself?
Yes, I do
So
it myself.
How do you do that? How do you
Yeah.
get that like beautiful
Okay, so these rocks,
modular?
most of these rocks are coming from 30 years ago when I started,
Oh,
right?
nice. So old
So
salt.
there's big pieces and
Yeah.
stuff like that, right? So basically, it's not that difficult, right? See how this look jagged?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted that look, right? So it's
Yes.
not too
Yes.
unique like a wall
Yes.
or something like that, right? As you can see.
And it adds to water circulation as well, right?
Yes,
Because it goes
exactly.
underneath your corals.
Right. And I peg. All my
Yeah.
corals are peg. So if there's flatworm, I can dip.
Oh, this is.
So that is the reason why. And you can see all the holes are drilled. So everything is on a peg you see here. Nothing is glued to the rock.
I'm doing the same. Dane told me, and like
Yes.
once you try that way
Yeah.
of keeping corals, like it's very hard to go
And
back.
not only that, let's say you have a section where there's a bunch of reds.
Yes.
You can shift some of the reds around, right?
Mhm.
You have some greens, you can shift it around a bit to mix
Mhm.
it and blend it, right? So that's what
Yes.
I like about it, right?
It's dynamic, but you can control the look of it. Where
Yes.
once things are static, you can't really do that. The
Right.
Same thing. So.
And I wanted
Okay.
that section with
Yeah.
the sun going through,
Oh.
you know, where it looks
This is the money shot.
nicely manicured. You
Yes.
understand what I'm saying? I don't have
Yes.
the stuff all over the sun.
Yes.
So that's why I like, because I had so much stuff, right, that I've given away, whatever, like that. Because, I don't want to put too much on crowd. Like, I had so much zoas.
Yes.
Even now in the sump, there's zoas in the sump too, right?
Yes.
But I just try to keep it clean. And then with the diamondback goby, he takes care of the rest for me, right?
So the diamond goby does that, but then do you also go in and you stir it up yourself?
No.
So basically, it's all him.
Yes, all him.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I'm definitely picking up some today.
Yeah, I'm too
So,
busy to
because
do that.
I like that, and I really
Yes.
like the fact that you find restraint in yourself to be able to not just cover everything with more coral.
No.
Because it's so easy, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
let's take this guy and put them everywhere.
Yep.
But this looks natural, and
Even
this
these
is
zoas here.
gorgeous. Yeah. Yep.
Massive, maybe about 24 inches by 24
Yes.
inches it was, right? I
Yes.
cut it up
Yes.
and put small pieces back, as you
Oh.
can see, right? Because I don't
Oh.
want a lot of stuff on the sand, right?
That is beautiful. Let's take a look at it from
Yes.
this side over here.
Yes.
What? Oh, wow. What is that? Is that an anemone?
No, it's the leather.
That's a leather?
Yep.
I haven't. Everything is like so puffy here.
Yep.
Everything is so vibrant. Everything is big.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. That looks like an anemone to me.
Yes.
Um,
Because of how the tentacle, and it still will come out a little bit longer, right? Later
Yes.
on, because normally the light comes on
Yes.
about 3 o'clock in the afternoon for me
Mhm.
and shuts off at 12 at night. So me
Yes.
scaling it at this time now, you see, it's like a little bit of a shock for them, right? So they're still like, what's going on, right?
oh, this is
Yeah.
gorgeous. So with we'll talk about the equipment
Yeah.
later in the video, but you said that here this is the most light and here it's a little bit less. Like, do you actually?
Because it's lower, right?
Oh,
so
I
the
see, because of
intensity
that,
is
so-
not as
yes,
much, right?
yes. So, but like really, we're talking maybe 12 inches difference,
Yes.
or so.
But when you measure
yes.
it with a parameter,
Yes.
it is a huge difference. Because here, you're getting right now,
Yeah.
maybe about 300 went up there, you're getting 4 plus, right? Up in the
No
back,
way,
that's so
really?
high, yeah.
So, okay.
Because it's 6, Gen 6 lights,
Yes.
right?
And yet you have like no nuisance algae, nothing. Like
No.
it's crazy.
But I have these guys too, right?
Yes, yes.
But
The urchins.
Yeah.
Yes, and you find that they help.
Yes, a lot.
Yeah.
At first, because I was running the Gen 5, I was scared to go to the 6, right?
Yeah,
Am
yeah.
I going to burn things
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever, right? And then Bobby says, try it, man. Try it and see how it works, right?
Okay.
So then, next thing I know, Hussein sends a delivery with 6 lights for me. Thanks to Bobby for that.
All right.
So
It's good
that's
to
what
have
I'm
good
running on.
friends.
So you can see, I'll show you quickly
Yes.
just what
Let's
the
take a
sauna
look
looks
at
like.
it.
See?
Okay. All right.
So you see how close they are together too, right? And
Yeah.
I angle these slightly so it washes
Yes.
back in a bit, right? So you can see there's no shortage of light here.
So this is Radion's XR30
Gen 6.
Gen 6
Yeah,
blues,
blues.
or
Yeah,
blues.
blues.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the tank does look pretty blue, and
Yeah.
maybe and that looks phenomenal. What do you run them at? What's your
It's-
philosophy?
Right now, I'm running all the blue channels,
Mm-hmm.
and then I adjust the white to like 10%, a
Yes.
little bit like that, right? The whites that's there, right? But that comes on later on. So
Yes.
I'm mostly driving the blues for
Yes.
let's say maybe about 6 to 7 hours.
Yes.
And then I'll go in for an hour and a half with a little bit of the white, then I wind back down again with the blue, right?
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
what's your total?
I think overall, my overall intensity, because these lights are new,
Yes.
it's about 65%.
So 65%, and then
Yeah.
how long is your day?
It goes from 3 to 12, right?
So you've turned it on right now just for me.
Yeah, just for you,
Okay,
yeah.
beautiful. This is so 3 to 12. That's not that much.
No.
If you think about it.
No.
So 9 hours, and is it any
Not
ramp
12.
up?
Yeah, it does about maybe an hour ramp up.
Hour ramp up.
Yeah.
Probably about an hour of ramp down.
Yes.
So that
an
leaves
hour
us
ramp
about
down.
7 hours
Yeah.
of blue, and then you said that throughout that 7 hours, there's also a little bit of a peak.
Right. I
So-
give it an hour and a half of a
Like
mixture
really
with the white.
intense.
Not really
Oh,
intense,
so just-
but maybe about, I think it's 10%
Oh, okay. So
white
Yes.
right across
yes.
and 10% red.
Okay.
So, that's what I do with it, right?
So
But I find out that,
Mhm.
I mean, to cut you off, but I
No,
find
no,
out
no.
that, you see,
Please.
sometimes we're driving the lights at such a high output that the corals, you see, it doesn't really color up as much as you really want. You think, okay, by driving it's going to color up brilliantly, right? But it's not so. I find out that less, sometimes you get a deeper coloration.
Yes.
Look at that red piece there, for instance, right?
Oh yeah.
Look at the millie over there, the orange in it, right? And
Yes.
that's just standing and looking at it like that, right?
Yes.
If you see from up top, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. So that's what I find, right? Like this was with the Gen 5, you see?
Yes.
You see how I dropped the color? We got a little whitish color. Now
Yes.
it's coming back again now with a darker pigment, right? So that's my philosophy. Because I have 6 lights, I can do that.
Yes.
If I had 4,
Yes.
I definitely have to overdrive. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
But
I see.
I put 6 so that I can just run it,
Yes.
at a decent
So
level, right?
so maybe for this particular coral, for example, so
Yeah.
it's got a little bit of a bleached look. So
Yes.
what's your philosophy to bring it up with better color, like this tenuous? Like you
Okay,
want
so I
to
put
give
it
it
off
more?
to the side here. You
Okay.
see where it's less
Yeah.
intensity, right?
Yes.
You can see it's starting to come back a bit now
Yes.
where the color is getting
Yes.
darker, right? So that's what I did with that,
Mhm.
right? But also, sometimes you can just drop the percentage a little bit and see, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not running because you have 100%, you got to blast 100%
I gotcha.
or 90%, right?
Yes.
I find out that if you go, a little bit less, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's more because you can see, look at all the colors. You can see.
No, this is beautiful. I want to see it from the other side now
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
So 7 hours. I think this is excellent because a lot of people recommend about 8 hours total. Like there's no need
Yeah.
to run it for 12 hours,
No.
or if somebody runs it for 12 hours, you gotta compensate and bring it all the way down
Yes.
because otherwise, if you are talking about a 450 par, there's a big difference of 450 par for 7 hours
Yes.
versus 12 hours. This is where you get
Exactly
into
right. Yeah.
dynos and other issues.
Exactly.
Oh my God, this is gorgeous. And so if we take a step back, this is after a disaster, eh?
Yes.
Like, so what you see right now
Yep.
here, this is basically the Phoenix Reborn.
Yep. That blue piece you see there, that big
Yes,
blue from
yes.
Australia.
Oh,
So
wow.
what happened was I went to Candy Corals,
Yeah.
me and Bobby, and I saw it and I said, I like that piece, brown, right?
Mhm.
Most people would pass it.
Mm-hmm.
But look at the color it's turned now, right? It's like a deep purple
Yes.
to it, right? And you see how much the polyps are out?
Yes.
So it's one of those things, right? Like I really do enjoy buying a brown piece sometime more than a piece that's already colored because when it changes,
It feels
you're like,
really
wow,
good.
look how
So,
nice.
Yes.
Look at that. That's a Tyree piece. See with the yellow? You'd never
Yes.
believe that is, though. You see the yellow in it? That's from Dane.
Oh, really? I haven't seen
Yeah,
it there.
that's
So-
from Dane. Look at the color. You know, people come here and ask me about that piece.
This is gorgeous. And that Millie, is it Millie?
Yeah, Millie.
So,
That's
look
from
at-
City. My friend, City Electric. That's
Yeah.
the other tank you're going to have to shoot, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, his is 48 by 10.
Oh my God, this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So Derek built this tank for you
Yes.
in place.
In place, right here at home.
How long did the whole process take?
Maybe 3-4 hours. The biggest part of the job, when
Yeah.
they say in home, people think, oh, it should be cheaper. But what
Yeah.
happened is
I don't
they
think
have to
so.
bring the
Oh, yeah.
glass in.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? And they don't have,
Yes.
in their facility, they have everything to make it happen easier
Yes.
for them.
Yes.
But when you're doing it in your house,
Mhm.
it's a different thing, right? But he did it for me here, right? So,
Yes. Oh, this
and he
is,
did a good job. Like you can see, all the ends are covered with aluminum.
Yes.
with also
I like it. This Dane has the same
yes,
thing, right? So
we all
just-
have the same kind of trademark, right?
yes.
Just to beef up the end a little bit and stuff, because one of the biggest thing is tanks will let go on you, especially when you're running gyro mode.
Yes, because it
On
just goes
MP60
back
or something,
and forth,
you're
back and
slamming
forth.
the
So,
water
yes.
back and forth against
Yes.
eventually fatigue.
Yes.
It's gonna come apart, right?
Yes.
So that's why we did the aluminum trim, so it's filled also with silicone underneath.
Yes.
And then he put support inside all joints for me. And the good thing is with him, you can customize the tank to how you want. You can see
Yes.
here, the back glass is drilled.
Oh, okay. This was my next question. How do you do the filtration and
Okay,
and flow?
so basically I have an Abyss pump,
yes.
400 doing the closed loop.
Okay.
I also have an Abyss pump doing the return.
Okay.
Kansas City Electric, he gave me a pump. So, and
good to have
also,
people.
yeah, and I have a 100 Abyss too,
Yeah.
doing return as well, right?
Okay.
So now the 400 runs through the chiller,
Yes.
runs through the UV, through the chiller to cool it back down, and then back to the tank.
Mm.
And if you look in the middle.
Yes. This
You
is
see
the
that thing
swirl,
rotating?
right?
Yeah.
Sea swirl? Is
No,
that-
that's the wavy C.
Oh,
They
okay.
discontinued them, but
This
I
is
managed
what's the name of the company does that?
C swirl, wavy C. Sorry,
No.
not C swirl, wavy
Okay.
C.
Yes. Okay.
So what happened? They
This
discontinued
is
them, but
phenomenal.
even if they're broken, I still buy them because I can rebuild them myself.
Yes.
So if you look, I have 5 of them in here
Ah.
rotating. So that one does 360,
Oh,
then
I
it does
didn't
360
notice
the other
that.
way. Yeah.
Because yeah, this is phenomenal. You have like no visuals that just kind of block the view of the tank, right? I mean,
No.
everything is hidden.
Yeah.
So,
And then if you look at this here,
Yes.
let me just raise this up for you.
please.
You see the stem coming down, I extend
Yes.
the pipe. The motor is mounted up there.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is turned in 360 and then 360 again.
Oh wow.
So that's on a 400, right?
Yes.
With
That
obviously
is some
that is the
serious
return
flow.
coming through the chiller back to
Yes.
here. And then that's just to take out humidity going outside with the fan,
Oh
right?
wow.
Because I don't want the moisture in the house.
It looks like you're a little bit handy
This-
over here.
Yeah,
So,
I'm a
yes.
plumber by trade.
it certainly shows.
Yeah, and these rails, you can see how I use the
Yes.
aluminum rails with the
Yes.
screws, the slider, right?
Yeah, this is very easy to readjust and run things. I
Yes.
also like the just overall look. Like it almost, I'm getting like a cabana
Yes.
feel.
It's
of some
stone,
sort.
right?
So,
Like I
yes.
wanted to do something different other
Yes.
than wood.
Yes. Yes.
So I bought the
This is-
stone and I did the stone myself, PL,
Oh,
and then I grouted it. These doors were built
Yes.
by a friend of mine that I work with,
yeah.
Jeremy, skill guy. And he cut these things by hand and made them for me. I still
Yes.
have to stain this one. It's been years and I haven't gotten to this
So
yet. but I did
what's behind that door?
Okay, so behind here, it's a bit of a mess, right? There's
I love
controllers.
mess. So this is what.
It's
yeah.
controllers. You can see
Oh.
all the valves are there.
Oh, cool. So it's kind of a bit of a storage
Yes.
compartment. And that pipe over here, so this is for the moisture you said, right?
Yes, it's
So-
sucking out at the bottom and at the top. See it coming down?
Ah, okay. So basically there is something
Yeah.
outside that's sucking the air and the air is coming from
Yes.
the top and from the bottom. Yeah,
Except I turned that piece wrong. The TY. It's
Yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to be
so-
the other way, but that was. But here is the pumps. You can see some of the
Yes.
pumps there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So see, there's a 400 there. There's also a pan whirl
Yeah,
running
yeah.
return.
Yeah.
There's also a 100
Yeah.
Abyss over there, and then there's a 400 up there. See where it's mounted?
Yes.
Under
yes. Yes. That's some serious
You
flow.
should see when we're doing the plumbing here because it's so tight. I couldn't fit under there. I had to call my buddy Jay. You're gonna shoot his tank too, to come over. He crawl under there, and I heat it up, and he was able to bend the pipe and tighten up the fittings just because we couldn't.
Well, for you, it's a challenge. You welcome that challenge, I'm
Yeah.
sure. So it's a plumbing challenge.
Exactly.
And let's take a look here.
So
underneath
that's
the
a
tank.
sump.
So- Ooh.
With the skimmer, Miracles made this to me too. A mess again. Sorry.
Oh no, this
Yeah.
is how
So,
it's supposed to be.
This skimmer
Yeah.
is running on 2 pumps. It's
Yes.
a 300 Bubble King.
Yeah.
I just got a pump recently. Hussein got me a pump recently. The 6 Reef Octopus.
Okay.
And also, he got me the Bubble King 2400, I think it is.
Yes.
So look, you see, that can only be run at 40%, but the other one's 100%.
Oh my God.
And I'm telling you, I can't believe a DC skimmer pump can work so well.
Yes.
Amazing. You can see there's stuff in the sump too.
Oh wow! So this is kind of your growout.
I just throw the stuff, the extra stuff. Every time it multiplies up here,
just throw it
I
in
throw it
there.
down
You
there,
have
right?
one XR15.
Yes, one XR15
This
there,
is-
Gen 6.
That's super convenient.
Yeah.
Like, just go in and do that. And why did you have this little separator? Just so
I don't want the light in the skimmer,
light,
right? You
so,
see?
yeah.
And if you look at my skimmer, I can't put the adjuster in to adjust the
Oh, I
height
see.
because me running these pumps,
Yes.
look how high I'm at already. You
Oh,
see what
yeah,
I'm saying to you?
this
So
is-
I can really drive the skimmer, right?
This is easily like 10 inches or higher.
Yeah.
In terms of water, right?
And
I
the
mean, so-
skimmer, you
yeah.
can control it by the controller, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
instead of me using, the whole adjuster piece to adjust the height,
this is
right?
the best.
I do it so you can see,
yes.
look how dense it is with bubbles all the way up.
No, I like it a lot. I think DC is the way to go,
Yes.
especially with all the newer skimmers. I think this is
Yes.
kind of a great way to dial it in instead of
Yep.
turning the knobs.
Yeah,
and
you just adjust there where you want. You're
Knowing-
good, right? So
I-
that's what
I find
do.
the same thing with the overflow, because a lot of times when you want to dial in the quietness of the overflow, instead of turning the ball valve,
Yeah.
you can use your DC pump to just change it by a couple of percent, and then
Yes,
you get the
exactly.
silence. So this is
And
perfect.
you know when you have the restrictor in there, right?
Yeah.
It holds back so much of the water that you could drive in. You see to get more bubbles and all that stuff, right? So that's why I took it out.
Oh, this is perfect. Now, this is not your first tank. You've how many tanks have you had in your entire life?
Maybe 10 or something like that.
Really?
I'd say maybe 10. Yeah.
10. So how long you been doing this for? And I don't want to date
30
you.
years. I'm right behind Dane. I think Dane has maybe
Yeah,
3 years on me, right?
Yeah,
We're
he
some
said
of the
5.
longest
He
guys.
said 5. He
Yeah.
said 35.
There you go. He's one of the longest guy, right? And then I'm behind him, right?
Oh my goodness.
So it's been a long time. And Steve, of course, Steve
Yes.
Winter. You'll have to do his time
Yes,
too, right?
yes.
We
This
started
is-
out the same day,
Oh my
me and him. So
goodness. So you are like the Mike Paletta and Sanjay of Canada. So like I mean, so those guys don't think they're the only OGs.
plus I do a lot. I build a lot of tanks, right?
Yes.
For customers and
Yes.
stuff like that. So I do a lot of installs for Miracles too as well.
Yes. Any tips for somebody who wants to start a new tank? Like, what are the most important things that you think somebody has to think of when they design and plan a tank?
I think lighting,
Mm-hmm.
circulation, rock work.
Mm. Well,
Okay, those things like, I did one recently
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's 8,500 gallon pumps on there. That
Oh, wow.
10 feet by
wow.
4 feet that you're going to videotape, right?
Oh my God.
It's like a jacuzzi, but you know what? A jacuzzi, yes, but it's not blowing sun over the
No,
place.
no.
And it's not blowing, the corals to the point where they're damaging or anything like
Yes.
that, right? We still have control. And because of that, there's no external devices on the tank.
Yes.
Before, we would have, MP60, the sands are blowing up,
Yes.
all that stuff. Right now, we're back to doing, but not many people do the closed loop system because
No, it's
they don't understand it and they don't believe it, right?
Mm.
In it and stuff like that. Because we're old school and we've been there before with that, it's okay, right?
But there's just something about not seeing any of the power heads
Yes.
visibly. And look at this. We're looking at one corner.
Yes.
And this Zoas, there's so much flow here. Like this Neso tank is getting a lot of current
Yes.
in that little place. Otherwise, like, how would you even structure it
And
with the
remember,
power
my
heads?
400s are
Yeah.
only at 50%.
Yes.
I
Oh
had
my
to put a
God.
chiller recently
Yeah.
because that's one thing with Abyss, and I'll let people know right now off the bat.
Yes.
Beautiful pump, bulletproof,
Yes.
but my God, does it generate heat.
Oh, really?
You
So-
don't even need a heater in the tank with the Abyss pump, right? Because it just generates so much heat. So I had to put a 1 horsepower chiller on. I had one
Oh,
on.
that's
It
incredible.
went. So I put another chiller on, right?
Yes.
So I keep my tank always at 76. The high is 77.
Yes.
In 10 minutes, that chiller will drop the temperature at 10 to 5 minutes back down.
That's wild. And let's talk a little bit about your. I guess let's start with the fish first. I'm a big fish guy. I noticed that your poor Achilles has ache. What happened there?
He knew you were going to flip today. So that's why, because the first time I see you, Nick, right? But I rebuilt my
Yeah,
UV and I forgot to turn it back on over the last few days, right?
See. So
I just caught onto it last night.
yeah, poor guy.
Yeah.
So, but all the other fish are great. It just goes to show you that those guys, the powder blue, the powder brown, and Achilles, they're all ick magnets, right?
Yes, you have to run your UV. And the other day my salinity went up a little bit. Sure enough, I saw a couple of spots, right? And another tang I have in here. And that's what let me realize, okay, something's wrong. I test the water, salinity. Yes. Because I'm doing the automatic water change. I'll take you to the control room after.
Yes.
So you can see.
There is a control room? Oh my God. Okay.
Not as big as Dave's, right? Because I don't have that kind of space, right?
You said sorry about the mess. This is pretty organized. So I love those type of things.
Again, my friend Jay built this for me, the shelving.
Oh, this is great.
And we mount this again, you see?
Oh,
you can see, so Mastertronic, Alcatronic. Now I've managed to master them. And I'm telling you, buddy, the Alcatronic, never wrong. It also controls. So before, they would come with a socket. If you look there, you can see that socket. The white socket with the red light. That socket controls my calcium reactor and my calc quasar.
Okay, I got it.
So what happened is whenever I have my set point in the Alcatronic, whenever I get to 8.5, it turns off.
That is.
And then once it drops below, it will turn back on again, right? So you can see the dosing pump, one of the dosing pump is calc, and one is for the calcium reactor.
Okay.
You can see the size of that monster. So I designed this calcium reactor.
Oh my God.
I designed it, build it. I had the parts machine, and the guy basically glued it together, but I plumbed everything. So I had our engineer design this in the office for me, on AutoCAD, and then we had it built. But you see the size of this thing, and does it ever work, my friend?
Oh, wow. How old is this thing? How long has it been around for?
What happened? Well, I think it's maybe 2 years.
Oh, this is...
It was something to experiment on. Oh, gee. It's going to be years, my friend. Look at the amount of media in there.
Oh, wow.
I had this one going that I built.
Yes.
And this was running, which was amazing. It's PVC.
Yes.
No leak. You could drop this thing from Mars and it wouldn't break. How solid it is. It's all PVC. PVC tubing. And then I had this one built, right?
Yes.
Had a couple of little issues with it, but now it's fine, right?
Yes.
You can see everything like it's...
That's gorgeous. What, and I see you dosing a few things.
That liquid is there for the Alcatronic. So what happened is, if it doses calc, and it doses, you know, the water obviously from the calcium reactor, and let's say over a period of time it doesn't reach the set point, right? Then what happened is the dosing pump will turn on in the Alcatronic, and it will add liquid too.
And you would trust your system?
Oh, that is bulletproof. I can tell you that. Now, Mastertronic is also accurate. The problem is that when we test by hand, we're looking at the color change and stuff, right?
Yes.
And the Mastertronic, what I find out is it takes the reading much faster because it seems like it sees the color change faster than we can, right?
Okay.
At least from my observation and stuff, right?
So, Dane has been raving about the Alcatronic lately as well. So he really
we got it set up.
So I gotta talk to the Alcatronic folks. See,
I'm telling you, man, if you don't believe in anything, believe in that.
Okay, well, it's a glowing recommendation. I see also the ICP test. How often do you send this
I have never done it. I got them and I have never done it. They're sitting there.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's good. So what's the, other than Alcatronic, and so this is the automatic water change? Is that?
No, that one, Apex.
Oh, I see.
Because what happened is the Ecotech goes very quick. If you're not watching it within a month, it stopped pulling and you can wipe the tank out, right?
Oh,
so
I see.
That's what happened to me before. Those two heads you see sitting there not working. So that's why I went back to this, right? It's noisy, but they're bulletproof.
Let me ask you, the Versa that had an issue there, how old was it? Like, was it the first generation or?
No, the newest one. I'll show you the tube here.
Interesting.
So you can see, right? Because I would say to people,
I run the same on 2 tanks, so I'm...
When you have that kind of investment, you see, be careful.
Yes.
You can see the tubes, you see it?
Oh, yeah. They become very flat.
So what did I do now? I build my own, you see? I'm using this tube. Is actually from the Apex. So I measure it the same way, cut it, calibrate it, and I use it, right?
Okay.
So that's what I use. But look at these. You see how soft the rubber is, right?
Yes,
So it collapses very easily, right?
I had that
And then,
happen to me as well a couple of
right,
times.
and then it won't move the water. So if you're not checking your perimeters
Yeah.
all the time, your salinity,
Mm-hmm.
you could, and that's what happened to me when I wipe out my tank.
How
That's
long
why
ago
these two
was
heads,
that?
see water change?
Yeah.
See they're labeled?
Yes.
And they're not being used.
Oh, I see.
And even this, now I'm dosing the calcium and the calc, and I'm telling you, I have to watch it, right? So that's why I have them hanging over the tank so I can see when it stops. If it's not dosing, then I can change it, right?
Sheesh. How long ago was the wipeout?
Maybe 6-7 months.
Oh, yeah, well, and so everything that we see here is after.
After.
So.
But look at the growth with some of those pieces in the tank, right? Water is coming from the tank, right? This is what's being tested.
Yes.
So it comes here into this manifold I designed here, goes back to the tank.
Your plumber DNA is all over it.
Yeah, so what happened is, you see this here, this is a flow cell.
Yes, yes.
So if you look here, I have water here, everything. So that's where the Mastertronic and Alcatronic samples the water.
What's a flow cell?
Okay, it's used for swimming pools and all that stuff, and then you can put your pH probe, ORP probe in.
Oh, I see, okay.
So what happened is, you see here, what I do is use it as a reservoir.
Yeah.
So my wastewater coming from the tank for the water change comes in here, overflows to the drain. So it kicks on so fast every 5 minutes, right? So what I do is I basically take the sample from here to test all my perimeters, alkalinity, everything, right?
Oh, this is ingenious.
Because this Mastertronic does not like anything with pressure.
Yes, yes.
So it's just gravity running out of spin. So I just take from here to these filters.
Yes.
And if I want to do a test, I can open this and drain here and take my water sample.
And your equipment room is probably easy 8 feet away from the tank, so
it's
far enough where you don't want to run too much wiring over there, but everything is separate.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
And all these are water in, water out. So if I want to do a water change, I open this. If I want to put water in the containers or back in the corner, it just takes it. I open this and the pump pumps it into the system.
No way. So very easy.
No hose, nothing running.
Let's take a look at the containers.
You can see there's another flow cell there. You see the pH probes in there. That's why it's designed
very similar.
for.
So yeah.
So the probes go right in there, and the water is flowing right through, right? So you get a proper reading, right?
Gotcha.
You see?
Yes. This is.
Yeah. So that's instead of having them just sitting in the sump. You understand? Water is always going by.
Yes. I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
So this is something new, and I guess you can pick it up in any plumbing store.
No, not necessarily.
Oh, really? So
you have to get it from a pool place or something like that.
Okay.
There's different types, right? But that one works fine. It's just PVC.
Cool. All right. So going back to the tank, and once again, this is basically after a big wipeout. So the wipeout happened because of the salinity.
Yes.
It just one of the pumps stopped working, and so your salinity.
So one is taking out salinity, salt water, the dirty salt water, not really dirty, but salt water out.
Yes.
But it's not replenishing. So what happened is topping off with the automatic top off, which is fresh water.
Yes. And after a while, it just
after a while,
major issue.
I think it was 18. I lost so much. Like 99% of what I had was dead.
Well, I feel horrible because I mean you've also, this is not your run-of-the-mill corals either. Like you've got a lot of eclectic choices over here.
Look at the rainbow splice there. You see that one over? Look at the colors. It's like 3 colors.
Yes, yes. I can see
it's like yellow, red, and then you have like a little tinge of greenish to it. And stuff like that. And that's a true strain.
You're a connoisseur of corals. Like, okay, what about your quarantine process? So you mentioned Acropora eating platforms and whatever.
I dip, right? So what I do, I don't use the other dips. I just use Milefx. Because I find out all the other ones, I don't want to call names. If you leave it in for even a minute too long, the coral dies. With the Milefx, it doesn't.
Really?
But when you take that coral out, you go back and check that dip after, you see? And you'll see how the flatworms have melted in there, right? So that's what I use, right? The Milefx.
Very nice. And over the years, I take it you must have experienced the.
Oh God, I would say for a good 6 years.
Yes.
I was fighting a flatworm problem, right? You know how it is. Look like you have it under control.
Yes.
And then it pops back up again. I think having that salinity so low helped me a lot to see where it eventually wiped all of it out because I haven't seen any trace or any sign, right? So that's the price I had to pay.
Kids don't try it at home. So this is not an invitation to try.
Yeah.
But Tons of Acropora. I don't see a lot of Monty over here. Like you're
No.
really more of an acro kind of guy.
Yeah,
huh?
acro kind of guy.
This is gorgeous. The polyps and everything. What about feeding of the Acropora? Do you do anything for that?
Yeah, as I said, I mix up the concoction with
Yeah.
all the powder stuff.
And that basically covers both the LPS
Yes.
as well as the Acropora.
And I start adding a little bit of bacteria, I think it's Fritz, to the mix.
Yes.
And then I'll use the puff baster like once
Yeah.
a week, and I'll squirt into the coral, squirt, you know, all over into here too as well. It does help a lot, right? You can see the increased growth.
Okay.
And even if you look at your history for your alcatronic,
yes,
the proof is there. You can see where your alkalinity is dropping like crazy, right?
this is when
Up
they
to 3 points, right? Like after like about a week, they get used to it and stuff. Whatever, you can
Yes.
see that happening, right? So you're like, oh my God, why is my numbers dropping like that, right? But yeah, it's
they're
the growth
growing,
that's
so,
happening,
yes.
right? And that's the beauty with the alcatronic, right? You can see your graphs,
Yes.
right?
We never used to have that
No.
visibility.
No,
into
but now you can
our
see,
tanks.
right? Yeah. And as I said, with having it programmed where
Yeah.
it turns off the reactor and the Calquasar,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't show you the.
Ooh.
So I have a stirrer there.
Yes. Ooh. Okay.
I have 2 CO2 scrubber canister because there's 2 pumps.
Yes.
So I'm pulling that air like crazy through there, right?
Oh,
right
wow.
now, I think my CO2 is maybe 8.3, 8.4.
Mm-hmm.
My pH.
Yes. pH. Gotcha.
Right now, you see?
That is pretty good.
Let me see here. It's 8.4. See, tank pH.
Yes. Yep.
And look at my temperature, 75.6. It dropped a little bit lower, right?
Jeez.
Because of the chiller, right?
Yes.
So
that is good. What about at night? What does your pH get to at night?
I would say 8.2, 8.3.
So you
Let's
run
see
it
here.
pretty high. What do
Yes.
you attribute that
Look,
to?
8.31, see?
Mm-hmm.
And then look, it went up to 8.5 yesterday.
I don't know how you do that.
It's just pulling through those 2 things because the pumps are pulling so much more air.
Yes.
And then I have them going through not the bypass, what do you call it?
Yes.
The CO2 scrubber.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So, you know, you find that my numbers are rising a lot higher now.
Oh wow, that's good.
Yeah.
The corals seem to like it,
Yes.
and the growth is good. What are your absolute favorite corals? Let's do one island at a time. Let's start with this island over here. What's your favorite?
Okay. I like the hammer.
Yes.
That's right there.
Yeah, the pure golden.
Yes.
So, yes.
And I like the golden torch because that one was bred in my tank.
Yes.
It spawned, right?
This is insane.
This one is nice too as well.
Yeah, you've got some like crazy.
But look at that in the
bases on
front
that,
there.
so-
That I have never seen in all the years I've been in the hobby. You see? Look at the
Yes.
green in it. I got that from
Oh, wow.
Demo.
Yeah, this is pretty
When
gorgeous.
I walked in the store and I saw it, I couldn't believe there was like 3 pieces. I felt like buying all 3 pieces. Up to this day, I still think about it, right? Because it's not a branching thing;
Yes.
it's a whole piece like this,
Yes.
right? So you can see. And the polyps are normally much bigger when it opens. You see the green in between the branch?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That is wild. I love this torch as well. Like, I mean, it's just that
Yes.
beautiful highlighter green or highlighter yellow color
Yes.
in of itself. And I like that one over there with the very teal base and
Yes.
pink tips.
That one was
So-
from Dane. You see that frog spawn there, the orange one?
Yeah, yeah.
He gave me that, yeah.
Well, it's Dane knows what's up, and he's been through all ups and downs.
The amount of
over
time I'll
there,
fall
so-
apart and then I'll get 20, 30, 40 different frags and go up in the tank. I'm like, okay, now I can look back at the tank again, right? Like when I wipe out the other day, right?
I know, so...
You helped me out big time, right?
Okay, this island over
Okay,
here. What's
over
your
here,
favorite?
I grew
Yes.
this from a 1/2-inch frog. You see how nice it is? Like
yeah,
red.
Yeah.
very
and,
bumpy.
And there's some nice pinks and everything
Yes.
in here. So yes, this is gorgeous.
And you see that red one there?
Yes.
Actually, you can have that frog. That one, I have a colony. You see it? It's red with blue
Yes.
tip, purple
Okay.
tip.
Yeah, yeah.
Remind me to give it to you.
I will-
Okay, so that piece there,
Okay.
there's a big colony over the other side. I grew that thing out from a 1/2-inch frog, man.
Oh wow.
And
So-
look at how it's a colony there now, right? Plus this piece.
And it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it was
So-
a piece that broke off, right? And I stick it there on a peg, and look at it.
I like fast growing acros.
Yes, and it's
'cause-
actually more fluorescent red than that, right?
So you've got, so speaking of not fast growing acros, I see right all the way in the back there, there's like a Wolverine or Pikachu,
Yes.
the yellow one.
Yes.
So I have a similar one that's been sitting in my tank for, I think, 3 years and hasn't gotten any bigger.
That's one of the pieces that didn't die for me.
Sheesh.
It was a frog,
yeah.
tiny thing.
Yes.
Wouldn't move an inch. I finally moved the colony from over here and put it down lower, and look, see, it's starting to branch now. So you see, it's one of those things, right? Something got to change the location.
Yes.
Or clip a piece, and you'll find out it starts to grow.
Have you tried, clipping like little tips of it so that to see if it encourages growth? Have you done any of those things? And does it work for you?
So the rainbow splice, another one, survive.
Oh wow.
That thing is bulletproof. Wouldn't move not even an eighth of an inch. You know what happened?
Yes. No.
I clip a little piece.
Yeah.
And from there, the thing just starts to spring like crazy. You can see the branches now coming in the growth. So there is something about it, that you can do.
Like, you guys are harassing me. I was doing so fine.
Yes, it was just a little nub there, man. Then it started taking off.
Well, this is gorgeous. What about the other island?
Okay, so over this island here.
Yeah.
Look at this one with the red polyps.
Oh, this is with the
I love that one.
Beige. Pastel base.
Yes.
And the polyps. Oh, and the polyps are gorgeous. They're red.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is
that
a good
one is a nice piece, you see?
Yes. For sure.
And this also,
yeah.
I have, so this yellow piece, I don't know if you can see it properly.
Yes. This is kind of what I was thinking. This is the Wolverine.
That's another nub. That piece has been with me like 3 years, and look at the size of it. It will not grow.
I think I have something similar, and that's what is happening.
You see what it's doing? It's like just nubby like that and not growing, right? So I'm thinking I might have to clip it to see if I can get it to start growing,
it's
right?
kind of silly if you think about it, eh?
Yeah.
So,
it just won't grow.
Oh, phenomenal. And I want to see this side over here. This is gorgeous. Who's that red one?
That's the same one.
Oh, this is the same one. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's slightly more dense, eh? The information and everything. So because it's more mature.
Exactly. But if you look from up top, you'll see it just glitters, you see?
Yeah, no,
and stuff like that, right? So that's the one there, right?
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So
everything is
over here. I like that purple piece too.
Yes.
Because it was brown when I got it, and what it changed to as well, right?
This is your rainbow loom is phenomenal. Like,
and this millie too, right?
It's good. The millie. I'm now just kind of biting myself for not having been here a year ago, because that would have been a completely crazy thing.
Oh, if you saw it before then.
Yes.
I had maybe way more rarer pieces in the tank then.
Yeah.
Than what I have now, right? That I lost.
Oh, well. It's one of those things, right? I mean, if you've been doing it for such a long time, there's certain pieces in the hobby that may be even common or not so common, and then you don't see them for 10, 15 years. So remember, even Red Planet, for example, here in Toronto, you can't really get it easily.
No, you can't. That's actually Red Planet, right?
Yeah.
See the color, it's struggling to grow. I don't know how. You know who has Red Planet from Australia?
No.
Ryan.
Oh, okay.
There's a couple of pieces there. I was there yesterday.
But I remember, the time when it was everywhere, and it was like a really fast growth.
Yep.
Oh, I see there's a jam tank. I see there's a fancy koi over here. So you've got tons of fish there as well, eh?
There's quite a bit of fish there. This guy's had since he was a tiny little guy, right?
Yeah.
The nasal.
Oh, yeah. The naso is one of my absolute favorites. So, but this gem is growing.
The blue doesn't do those antias justice.
Yes.
But man, when you see the colors in them, you see when the light is more like a white effect. Yeah. It's amazing, right?
Oh, I will. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
What? And this koi over here is just gorgeous.
He keeps changing. The other day he was fully changed. Really? Now he's back to that. Yeah.
Oh, this is.
I'll tell you one thing I discovered. My observation with this fish.
Yes.
If the light is too blue.
Yes.
He's not going to change and give you those fancy colors the way it is.
No.
You see when the light is white.
Yes.
If it's on for a period of time white, where you're doing it every day.
Yes.
You'll see how quick he changes.
Yeah.
Because remember, where these fish are from, the water is very, very shallow.
Yes. Yes.
You can see the guys, them going around the guys' feet and stuff like that, and they're going after them through the rocks and stuff like that, right? So I guess with the sun baking down on them like that, right? It seems like it has an effect on them, right?
Gotcha.
Because I noticed with this guy, now that the light is more blue in my tank now, because obviously it's a Gen 6.
Yes.
He's changed the color of it again.
Okay, so we're shooting right now under closer to 12, 13K. So this is a little bit what I call a 10K look, or what you said, metal halide, right?
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day.
Back in the days,
Because
yeah.
we wanted to see the fish and their true colors, because that's just something, right? I mean, under the blue, the corals look amazing, but the fish, uh,
No.
you,
Yeah, the
you
fish
want to
look
see
good, the
it
corals are...
under sunlight, right?
Yeah.
Look at that, how fat this guy is as well. So, so where's the koi? Do you think we can fire
Where
him?
is he now?
Let me see
He's
on the other
under the
side. Oh,
rock.
this is beautiful gem right over here.
See the antias?
The coal,
You
yes.
see the color in the antias?
Yes, yes. The
That's the only thing we miss, you see,
yes.
with the lighting, right? You don't really get to see the true color of the fish, right?
And now, you tell me if that doesn't look like a real reef in the ocean.
Yep, yep.
This
That
is
does, yeah.
as real as it gets. And
Yeah.
oh my God, look at how white the sand is.
Yep.
This is what you want. You don't want, like, it makes or breaks a tank.
Yes.
So if you want to have a sand bed, you gotta have it nice and clean.
And the thing, so before,
yes.
what I did was I vacuumed out all the sand.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran bare bottom for maybe 2 months. You know
yes.
what happened?
No.
I couldn't enjoy the tank.
No, I'm the same way.
I saw
yes.
a flat color, no
yes.
sheen.
Yes.
And
yes.
it wasn't reflective. You see, like the light,
yes.
when the light hit it,
yes.
it wasn't reflective. Like you see, it hits the sand,
yes.
it reflects back to the corals, right?
Yes.
Not so.
No.
I couldn't deal with it. And then not only that, what it was costing me out of pocket to maintain my perimeters, it just wasn't worth it. I go, you know what? I'm just going to go back to sand.
No, the sand is the way to go. For me, it just makes
because you got those nitrate, phosphates, and now you're spending more money now, you see, to buy all these components. So when having the sand in, you see,
yes,
you don't have to do that, right?
Oh, wow.
So that's why I changed. I went right back.
And some of the corals, just like look at the coloration under the white light as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like everything is pristine. You've got the pinks.
Look at the tort. You see how blue that
oh,
tort
yeah.
is? Look at the pink still in the Pikachu.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
The polyps.
Yes.
You still have the red in this too.
Yes. This is the pink lemonade, I take it, or something
yes.
similar? So yes. This is your favorite guy as well.
Yep.
Oh wow.
But even the red piece
crazy,
over there, you see, it's still showing you the red in there.
Yeah.
Even
that's what you want. This
Kelvin,
is
yeah.
what you want in the tank. But that mushroom, so I have the forest fire mushrooms, but mine never get as puffy as this. This is just bonkers. What do you attribute that to? Just feeding?
I think feeding, yes, but I think also the light. Because if you're baking these things,
yes,
I'll tell you, you're not going to get those bounce on it, and you're not going to get that mushroom up no big enough. It's saying, hey, I don't need no more light. I'm good. So why do I need to stretch? But it's like when you go in the forest and you see certain trees that are so tall, reaching up to that light, right? It's the same principle, right? From what I've seen, right?
I agree.
So having a little bit less, you see, it makes the corals even a little bit more puffy. These things open up a lot more because you're reaching for the light source. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I find.
I noticed that with the anemones as well.
Yes.
So
if you're baking them,
they will become
just
thinner,
like the mushrooms, they stay small, right?
Yeah, the surface area, right?
Yes, yes.
That is, well, also this guy, like when we were shooting it under the blue light, you don't see how beautiful kind of teal green this is.
Yes, yes.
Oh, wow. This is...
There's the diamond back out again.
This is gorgeous. Well, Carl, thank you so much for having us over. I think this is a great first introduction into the tank, and I'm really happy that I got to experience it for the first time together with the viewers. So I had the same questions that maybe some other people would. And I don't think this is the last one of those videos. I want to be back here 6 months from now when a lot of corals will grow in. And for all the viewers, if you have any questions, write them in the comments below. And next time we see Carl, we'll actually cover them as well.